As has been stated, and we know, but it bears repeating, that for too long, our traditional infrastructure investments and policies have really exacerbated inequities and disparities in our communities. In fact, the 1956 Interstate Highway Act, which created the cross-country system of freeways that we rely on every day, resulted in the displacement of more than 1 million people and more than 475,000 families in just 2 decades. These highways cut through our neighborhoods, they darken pedestrian routes, they worsen air quality, and they massively diminished property values. Predominantly Black, Brown, Indigenous, and low-income communities lost churches. We lost green space and entire swaths of homes. Our communities lost access to jobs and other critical resources, divestment that to this very day contributes to the growing racial wealth gap in our nation. Ms. McGuire, what role does taking on debt play in serving as a barrier for minority-owned businesses in this space?
Thank you for a great question. So as I shared earlier, as a business owner, we don't want to take on more debt loan. So the critical key to success is allow and give access to equity capital and government capital, enable them to grow.
Very good. And can you just expound upon that a little bit more as to what are some alternatives to loans that will help minority-owned businesses acquire the capital in order to be competitive for these contracts, which we have historically been locked out of?
Absolutely. So one thing is, we can partner with some of the large financial institutions, and many of them are corporate members. They're vital, critical stakeholders, can really extend funding opportunities and a really lifeline to these minority-owned, small-owned businesses. And all of them made a commitment to racial equity. You talk about racial wealth gap, and all of them made racial equity commitment to provide funding for infrastructure contracts and more. And this can be accomplished by using the racial equity commitment and associate funding to guarantee loans for MBE required to secure the contract. One example, very actionable example is, create a letter of intent for MOU that states if MBE wins a contract, we will guarantee a loan to cover 100 days of payroll. That's one of the example. The other thing is not just about access, it's the burden of getting the capital. The underwriting criteria should be evaluated, and many small MWBE just don't have the financial acumen to receive the loans or equity capitals from different sources. And so help MWBE understand the requirement and create a path to success will be ideal. And the other thing I think Farhan and many people talk about, it is the connection. People don't have a relationship nor the knowledge to gain access to capital. So how do we, the government and a community organization like us, become a matchmaker to connect our underserved communities with the source of a capital out there? And one of the ways to do it is through technology enablement. So what if?
Thank you, Ms. McGuire. I'll let you go on. Go on, please.
So what if, we have a tool that has all sorts of capital out there and intelligently match with the small minority women businesses who otherwise never had the access or relationship. And that can be easily created with AI, with today's technology advancement. Thank you for the question.
No, absolutely. And I think it just goes to show this is about intention and the will, and the solutions are available to us. And on the technical assistance side, as you talk about sort of the barriers in terms of relationships and access and acumen, and why mentorship is so important, and that we're intentional, in our lawmaking and ways to support that. You know, many of the folks that I hear from back in my district, the Massachusetts 7th Congressional District, they just don't have extra revenue lying around to hire expensive consultants and accountants to prepare applications. So many worry that they simply won't be ready. But again, thank you so much. At the end of the day, you know, infrastructure in its development and its implementation has the potential to divide or to bridge, to reinforce oppression or to dismantle it. And we have to learn from the lessons of the past and chart a better course. Thank you.